You know what I do with people like that you go on a road trip that go to sleep immediately?
What?
If it's cold, I'm letting all the windows down.
Well, you can let me out of the nearest
You ain't going to
truck
sleep
stop.
on me.
No, I
Ice 'em
like
out.
so this is me. I started off. I drive 6, 7, 8, 9 hours and then I pass the wheel. And I'm done.
What if that's the whole trip?
Then
We done.
We done.
I like it. I wish you could. I wish I had you as a driver.
Yeah, I need you.
My drivers ain't no good. We went to St. Louis to get a car. It's my son, my cousin. We rolling, and of course my cousin sleep because he worked that night. But my son, I asked you to come here at 5 so you can drive, son. He's like, Dad, I'm tired. I'm like, oh man,
yeah, I like
what I need you for.
I like to be the rabbit. I like to start it off. That mean I ain't got to do it later.
Are you a nighttime beginner driver or daytime?
Both.
I like night.
Yeah, because when I drove to Indiana, I left probably around about 2 in the morning.
Yeah. The first time I drove out of state, me and my mom were going down to Louisiana after my junior year. We were going down to Louisiana for a cousin's wedding, and she handed me the wheel in Missouri, and she's like, I just need a couple hours of shut eye, so you just drive. She's like, you just follow this road, and you just keep going. The signs will tell you where to go. And I was like, okay. We pulled up we were driving, and at one point there was this turn, and I don't know what this person was doing, but they had collected a whole bunch of different like street signs and put them in their yard. So I'm driving, the lights hit all these signs, and they start lighting up, and I'm like, what is happening right now? I didn't know what to do. I would like stop the car. I was like, Mom, what is happening? She's like, you just got to follow the road. I was like, this says turn, U-turn, yield, stop here, like all this stuff. I was confused as heck.
I tell you what, my dad came and got me from Kansas one time, and we drove, and we had stopped in Tupelo, Mississippi to see cousin Hucklebuck, and he told me to drive from Tupelo, Mississippi to Birmingham, Alabama. Was roughly probably about 3 hours. I couldn't even make it. I was 20 years old. I couldn't even drive 2 hours.
Really?
Yeah, I was a sorry driver back then. So
you're still a sorry driver.
I know.
If he can give me 6 to 9
I
hours,
let me tell you something. I stop at one of those pilot gas stations and get that high rib coffee. Shit, man, I'm driving with both hands on the wheel and I'm speeding and I'm listening to my music and I'm going.
I say, give me some music.
And going.
Give me some music. Give me a Mountain Dew. I'm good.
Yeah, no Mountain Dew in the morning. Coffee.
Oh, I'll take Coke in the morning. That's
high rail. Oh,
it's okay. Morning Coke, it works. Coffee, I mean, I'm more of a coffee guy now, but it's all right. It's whatever. But first things first, I do want to say condolences to the Leach family as Mike Leach passed away Monday night after complications related to a heart condition. The school announced he was 61 years old. The then Mississippi State head coach Mike Leach has passed away. And I just want to say condolences to his family, condolences to anybody that ever had the chance to meet him, his former and current players, and just anybody that was around Mike Leach for any period of time. I'm sure he meant a lot to everyone, and that just sucks, man.
Yeah, Texas Tech, Washington State,
Mississippi State.
Yeah,
I'm sure he was a assistant coach at a bunch of different places. I know Kentucky posted he was an assistant at Kentucky for a time, so. His influence is in a lot of places in college football. The air raid attack at Texas Tech. I know Nebraska fans, got to see him a decent amount, probably more than they wanted to see him. But one of the more colorful people in college football history. Just kind of said whatever he wanted to say. Didn't really care what people thought about him.
I think him and Mike Gundy are more of the two outspoken coaches in college football.
They don't care what anybody thinks. They just say what they're going to say, and it's refreshing to have a coach like that.
Speaks his mind.
Exactly. No coach speak. He's just going to tell you, he hates candy corn and fruitcake.
I hate fruitcake.
He's going to
tell you. No, I don't. I'm not going to say that.
He's going to.
The guy from Graham, what it is? Beatrice Baker. All right.
That's because Mike Leach never had no Beatrice Bakery.
He never had Beatrice Baker.
Right. But, he's going to tell you exactly who would win between the mascots fighting in the Pac-12. He's going to go into very detailed analysis of all that, and he's going to hold on. We have one clip, and this is one of my favorite ones from Mike Leach.
We failed to make our coaching points and our points more compelling than their fat little girlfriends. Now, their fat little girlfriends have some obvious advantages. For one thing, their fat little girlfriends are telling them what they want to hear, which is how great you are and how easy it's going to be.
Oh, Mike Leach, man. This gone way too soon. 61 years old. May he rest in peace.
Dang, that's young, man. By the way, Casey Rogers had 13 solo tackles, 17 assisted tackles, 30 tackles total, 3-point tackles for loss. Let's see what else he had.
I was wondering what you were looking up. You were looking up Casey Rogers' stats.
Said he had a touchdown though.
Like an interception?
Something.
Fumble return? Good for him.
It wasn't an interception. It had to be a fumble return.
Yeah.
Yeah, fumble return. So
it could have been an interception.
It could have been, but it's not. And he's only a junior, so he comes back again next year. I think that's good for them. At Nebraska, he was 15 solo tackles, 27 assists for 42 total, 6.0 tackles for loss, 1.5 sacks, so the same there. And that's it. 2 PDs. What's a PD?
Pass deflections.
Pass there you go. Pass deflections.
Little
So
JJ
there you
Watt-esque.
have it. Casey Rogers had a decent season at Oregon.
Yeah,
He
no
didn't
case
start
season.
though.
Yeah. Good for him.
Yeah, and as a defensive tackle, you don't know what type of impact they had. They could have went the other way. Could have.
Could have. Didn't.
Don't
Whatever.
forget Sipple. What Aaron talking about?
That was when you guys were just naming people off that worked here.
we forgot Sipple.
Forgot Sipple. Tragic.
Dang, Sip.
The one, the only.
Don't hold it against the Sip.
Stephen
We
M.
old
Sipple.
now.
He
Sip.
ain't, look, he ain't listening.
Stephen Sipple.
Once he leaves, he's done. He leaves the station. He's not listening anymore. He's busy. He's probably somewhere. He's probably at home writing a
1-3
column right
stuff.
now. Yeah, writing a column for On3, little Husker Online stuff. Speaking of On3 and Husker Online stuff, Nebraska had a pretty good recruiting weekend this weekend. Got 3 commitments, including a. I don't know how much people care about this, and they got a long snapper out of Florida, which is very important. You ever not had a good long snapper? It's very important.
I've never not had a good long snapper. No,
Exactly. So can you imagine not having one?
that should never happen in college football.
Well, now Nebraska has one. Transfer from Florida.
And that's all he's going to do is long snap.
That's all he's going to do.
Yeah. If I had it to do over again, I would have put long snapping in my repertoire because there was a guy, I can't remember, Kendall. It was his last name or first name, but I know he played for the Chiefs when I was there. And at that point, he was there 10 years. And he ended up playing like 20 years. All he did was long snap.
Dang.
Okay? There's something they call league minimum
That is
for a veteran. It's like $700,000 now.
That's pretty nice.
I once drove 16 hours from Beatrice, Nebraska to Johnson City, Tennessee, Huskers says.
That's a
I drove all the way to California a couple times by myself. John says this, Rashawn, if you have someone riding with you and they go to sleep, just jerk the wheel back and forth. That will wake them up. Just say,
wake up.
I don't know what kind of animal that was, but it was huge. I guarantee they will still wake after that. Okay, I'm going to use that one. I mean, I don't like, I'm not going to use that one because I don't like to jank the wheel because.
Just in case.
You just don't. So a lot of times I'm towing a vehicle.
Yeah, you can't jerk the wheel around.
So this is what you do. You get behind one of those vehicles the
truck tow, the semi tow, and the
semi towing, and you get behind that one. And he said, "Oh my God, they're coming!" And they wake up and
Yep. Those videos are funny.
Yeah, so
You guys are cool, man.
Those are funny.
How about we just go over to the little bumps? Hit them with the.
Well, you seen the video of the dude's grandpa or his dad or whatever that fell asleep at the wheel, and he like goes in the median. He's like, He's like, the guy just ran me off the road. He fell asleep.
Every year, my family goes to Minnesota for a first trip, and I drive 6.5 hours. My fiance comes with, but she gets nervous on the interstate, and I choose life. I choose life with you.
Makes
if
sense.
someone is on that highway and they're nervous, get them out of the wheel.
Don't drive on the highway.
No.
Don't do it.
No, I have to get on my drivers because I say, hey, if you buy a truck, you do 2 things. Either fall behind it or get past it. There's no gray area. You never want to ride next to a truck. If that tire blows, you're in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Cheeseburger says, drove from Lincoln to Seattle. Wow. And Lincoln to Navarre to Navarre, or is that Navarre?
I don't know how to pronounce
Florida. Was it my senior year?
How far is that?
It was either my senior year or my sophomore year, my redshirt sophomore year. I drove back from Miami.
Trying to be cheap, trying to get that money.
What do you mean trying to be cheap?
What about the money?
You know how much $1,500 was? In 19, let me ask you this. What would what would $1,500 be compared to today in today's money?
From when?
From 1995.
Let me check. That's
you
a
got
lot.
a calculator for
It's
that?
a lot. It's gonna be a lot.
Well,
Check that out.
I know gas was like 96 cents or $1, so a couple of gallons of gas.
Hey, Ryan, you are funny. It ain't happening no more, guys. You ain't gonna get me. You ain't gonna get me.
Whoa.
Kendall Gammons, pecan pie. Thank you, sir. Absolutely. That was cool.
So 1,500 1995 is equivalent to $2,933.19 today.
So almost double.
Yeah.
Wow. So if you didn't come back with the team, you got what you would get for a plane ticket. Well, my mom had passed away, and I had my home in California living with my uncle.
Mm-hmm.
So then you get a ticket from Miami to California. Oh, that's a lot of money.
Whew.
Last minute too. 0019 says, "Let God take the wheel."
Nope. I'll take the wheel. Jesus, take the wheel. No, sir.
Yeah, he's a 5-star. Who's a 5-star?
The long snapper. I don't know. I don't know if he's a 5-star or not. I do know they also got a 3-star, I think 3-star, maybe 4-star corner out of IMG to commit.
Yeah.
And then the 3-star defensive end out of the junior college in California to commit.
Yeah, I hate those stars. Why you just can't be a person and they committed and look at their film.
Well, look, if you pay attention to what Matt Rule's done in his previous stops, it takes 3 stars, and by the time they're done at their time at the university, they're playing a lot better than a 3-star.
Well, you know why? Than a 5-star, but you know why though? Because 3 stars are gonna get there and work a lot harder than a 5-star would.
Mm-hmm.
He's got something to prove. Why I ain't a 5-star?
Unless you have a 5-star that's kind of like a, Terrell mentioned it earlier, like a Will Anderson type, who's going to work hard regardless of how talented he is, and is just trying to get better and better because they're trying to be the best that they can be, or the best that's ever been. And that's rare in some people nowadays. So getting somebody who's as talented as he is, who also wants to work as hard as some of those guys who have to, play with a chip on their shoulder because they're not as highly ranked or highly recruited, and they feel like they got to prove something. If you get somebody like that, then that's an amazing player right there.
Longest solo trip driven.
Solo trip?
Solo.
I ain't driven really nowhere.
Yeah, probably about 2 hours.
Yeah.
Really?
I ain't really.
What is wrong with you guys? That's why you guys act like
Actually,
that.
no.
You haven't been anywhere.
Grand
6
Island
or 7
from
hours.
Lincoln.
You got to get out of the state for it to count.
6 or 7 hours. I went from Omaha to Sydney.
By yourself.
Yeah.
Sydney, Nebraska?
Yeah, Sydney, Nebraska.
I was about to say.
It's on the other side of the state. It's in the
Perfect.
Panhandle.
Did you hear what I told Terrell?
You got to get out of the state. I know.
No, that don't count.
Well, then I ain't been nowhere.
I drove to California by myself.
Nope. Hard pass.
That was a long time.
I
And
ain't doing
I was in a, I'll never forget, it was 04 BMW. And I'm going into, what is that when you, Reno?
Nevada?
Yeah, I'm in Reno, and you're getting ready to go down the hill to get to Sacramento, go down the mountain. And this is the first time I knew something wasn't right. So they tell me, if you don't have change on your car, you can't go down the mountain. So if you got a rear-wheel drive car, you cannot go down that mountain unless you get change.
Yep.
I got change on my car. Get down to the bottom of the hill. First of all, the change cost me $60. Cost me another $40 to get them taken on. Guess what happened when you get to the bottom?
Wasn't under.
Charge you $40 more to take them off. By the time I got home, my tires were destroyed. Took me 24 hours to get there, but better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, long trips, man. By yourself, you got plenty of time to think. Think about what Terrell was doing.
See, if I take a trip by myself, I probably would pull over 3-4 times at the rest stops, take a nap, because you get bored driving by yourself.
I'd be thinking to myself,
well, I don't give you. How you get bored? So you got phones.
You ain't supposed to be on your phone.
Look at your phone while you're driving.
I listen to a podcast.
I'm gonna need both of you guys to get with the 20th century.
What?
It's 2022, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, you still ain't supposed to be on your phone.
That's a lie.
No, you're not supposed to.
That's a lie.
No, it's not a lie.
You telling me it's a law that you can't be on your phone?
Yes.
Show it to me. I know you.
If
you
you get
have lost your noodles.
no,
You have
it is
lost your
it is
noodles.
illegal to drive and be on your phone.
That's a lie.
Text and drive, PJ.
That's the truth. I can be on my phone inside my car that has Bluetooth.
That's not.
Got him. Got him. Got him. I don't want to hear it. Got him.
Why is he the way that he is?
Got him. That's all I can say. Got him.
You didn't get anybody.
Got him.
That's not what we were talking about.
It was what we were talking
No,
about.
it's not. We said be on your phone. You
No.
can't be on your phone. As in, you were talking be on your phone, not talking on the phone.
See, youngster, let me just.
You didn't say talking on the
let
phone.
this
There's
old-
a difference.
Let this old guy help you.
Don't you
Okay, I'm
do
gonna
this.
I'm gonna rewind. I said to Terrell, what?
How can you be bored
How could you be
when
bored
we have phones?
when we have phones?
Yeah.
Meaning Terrell Farley, if he's on a road trip, can call me, and if I ain't doing nothing, I probably could give him an hour or so.
Terrell ain't trying to talk to nobody.
That's a lie.
I definitely don't want to talk to you for an hour. on
That's
the phone.
another lie. You was on the trip and you needed to stay up. Don't-
Honestly, the last thing I want to do when I'm driving is talking to somebody.
Well, talk
Oh,
to
man.
VJ.
Listen.
You wouldn't be
I
doing much
don't-
talking.
Yeah.
I don't like to talk when I'm around a whole bunch of people.
That's a lie.
Okay, cool.
That's a
That's
the-
a lie.
the biggest lie I ever heard.
I was making sure y'all was paying attention.
I was waiting to see where you were going with that one.
70, what is it? 0124 says drove to Sacramento to Lake Havasu to Lincoln, Nebraska in one shot. Gas and bathroom breaks were the only stop. Sweet.
Like Havasu in Arizona.
Willie says, see, here's Willie. Willie says drove straight through to Miami in 97. Between three of us for T.O.'s last game, 27 hours. Stopped at the swamp in Gainesville to run around on the field for a bit.
Back when you could get on the field. Can't get on the field nowhere anymore.
Barely can get in Nebraska now.
Nebraska Nolan says, I once drove from Newport, Oregon, just south of Portland, to Lincoln, Nebraska. One shot to the wife, drove with last 6 hours. That's it. Or with the wife. I'm going to imagine.
And you saying
Said
the
to
wife
husband,
drove the last
man.
6 hours. Nope. That's a long drive. I drove to Sacramento with my mom once. That
Oh.
was almost 24 hours.
Yeah?
Yeah.
James says Albany, New York. How long is that
24
trip?
hours.
Has anybody ever taken that trip from Miami to
Portland?
to yeah,
Or hold on.
or New York
Washington.
or Maine to California?
I'm sure people have.
I wonder how long it takes. Lincoln to Quebec City. How long
I
that
don't
take?
know. I've been on a Greyhound bus for about 24 hours.
Jeez.
Bro, those
Yeah,
were
those
the
Greyhound-
worst times ever.
Those
Yeah.
Greyhound drivers are built different.
Well, they pull in and everybody, we got 30 minutes. If you miss the bus, you're gonna get left.
They're different, man.
They are different. Rico's right.
What am I right
It's
about?
rare to find a 5-star who trying to be a dog become a 10-star.
Yes. A 5-star works as hard as a 3-star.
They don't.
Speaking of 5 stars,
Some of them do.
South Carolina just had a running back. Marshawn Lord has entered the transfer portal. Lord was he was a 4-star,
Mhm.
the number 4 player in Maryland, the number 5 running back overall, and the number 42 player overall.
There's some connections to Nebraska, not only Satterfield, who was his offensive coordinator at South Carolina, but he was recruited by Scott Frost and the old staff to Nebraska. So I think he's come on a visit before to Nebraska. So he knows the campus, he knows the university, he knows all that. And, like I just said, his offensive coordinator is now the offensive coordinator in Nebraska.
He gone.
I think we can use a good 2-headed monster back there. Well, that'd be a 3-headed
Three-headed
monster.
monster.
Yeah, man.
4-headed monster.
You hope.
Shout out Ramir.
Yeah.
You hope.
It's a lot of running backs.
You hope. You only got one ball. Eric says longest solo, Lincoln to Dallas and back straight through 20 hours. Chase B solo trip for work. I had to drive to Dubois. Is it Dubois or
Dubois. I'm gonna go Dubois.
Nebraska and back.
Oh, I did a 24-hour trip. I did drop my kids off and dropped them off at the door. Said, see you later, bye. Drove right back to Lincoln. That was 20 hours.
Aaron says he once drove from Lincoln to Niagara Falls in Ontario, Canada. 19 hours straight through.
Hey.
That's some long drives. Y'all driving forever. I
Jay-
couldn't do it. I couldn't do it by myself.
Jay Stu says, how is he just now finding out about this? I used to drive my 1990 Honda CRX from Lincoln to San Francisco at least a year, maybe 2 times. Nevada was always creepy hills, have eyes, plus signs that tell you the next gas stations are over 100 miles away.
That's terrifying.
I hate that.
That is
The
terrifying.
captain, the ticket, 93.
You on the ticket water?
My
cooler.
bad.
Come
It's
on,
the captain
man.
in
The
black
black shirt.
shirt.
and
Rico,
on
the ticket water cooler.
will be back.